But of course, there's another stream of art based on modern and contemporary ideas that has an impressive history. The list of artists who have spent time here includes names like Richard Diebenkorn and Sam Francis, Ann Hamilton, John McCracken, and Ken Nolan. Artists who were students at UCSB include Richard Serra. Did you all know that Richard Serra got his undergraduate degree here? Mary Miss, Kenny Scharf, and Mark de Souvero, the sculptor, who recently told mutual friends that when he lived here, he actually lived in a tree at the base of the county bowl. So, interesting little note there. Current local artists Hilary Brace and Richard Ross are both recent Guggenheim Award winners. Santa Barbara is a town rich in artistic achievements. For a city its size, it would be hard to find a comparable place with such a significant arts community. For example, in a recent published study of the artists in the workforce, I brought this here, I'll talk about this, the National Endowment of the Arts named Santa Barbara in the top 10 arts communities in this country. And we're including Santa Fe, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Santa Barbara. I all recommend, especially you people that have to advocate for the arts, to get this. It's free from the government. And it breaks down, there's a much more elaborate book about Santa Barbara's role. It's really impressive. But this study also included all the arts, drama and dance. And as John Blondell in the audience might know, Santa Barbara appears to be especially rich in actors. Since we're here today to consider the role of museums, I would like to highlight some of the important art institutions of Santa Barbara, many that were established long before institutions like the Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles and the New Museum in New York. We have a legacy here. The Santa Barbara Museum of Art opened in 1941, and it has a world-class collection, and has done many significant exhibitions representing a broad range of history and cultures. In the past 2 decades, they have had exhibitions of noted contemporary artists like John Baldessari, Nancy Graves, David Hockney, Dale Chihuly, Elaine de Kooning, Nam June Paik, Carrie Mae Weems, and the Fluxus Group. These are important artists whose works we get to see in this town. Their photography and Latin American collections and shows have been recent strong points. And now I'm hopeful with their new director and their new contemporary curator that this museum will play an even more vital role in the arts of this region. Area university and colleges have had major impact on our art scene. The University Art Museum at UC Santa Barbara began in 1959 and has had important exhibitions showing the likes of Max Beckmann, Robert Irwin, Rauschenberg, Faith Reingold, Kiki Smith, Terry Winters, and Alice Neal. It has a major collection of architectural drawings and design-related materials, over 750,000 drawings, and 40 major archival collections, including the design archives of the architect R.M. Schindler. UCSB also has acclaimed faculty and produced numerous artists, art historians, and museum professionals. Area artists and local arts supporters founded the Santa Barbara Contemporary Arts Forum in 1976, when small, let's say, nonprofit arts organizations were just beginning in America. We started one here. And on the early advisors to that, if you look back, the names on the list were like Laurie Anderson, premier performance artist from New York, and Marcia Tucker, one of the legendary curators in America. From its beginning, CAF has continued to bring in well-known artists and performers from across the United States, as well as exhibit local talent. Ann Hamilton, who is considered to be one of the most influential artists in the world, did one of her earliest installations at CAF when she lived here in Santa Barbara and taught at the university. And of course, the Reynolds Gallery here at Westmont College, under the guidance of Tony Askew, has done remarkable shows, including the recent Richard Diebenkorn and George Roald exhibitions. And with its new art building up here soon, there will also be a serious collecting museum. And what a wonderful opportunity for the Montecito community, in particular, to be able to go to museum exhibitions literally in their backyard. How great will that be for everybody up here? Atkinson Gallery, that I'm associated with, has been out there doing shows since 1975, showing only contemporary art by a broad range of area artists and noted artists from outside this region, such as John Sonsini of LA and John King of New York. And good news for us, we just confirmed that nationally known artist Alison Saar will be doing an exhibition with us in November. And certainly, the Santa Barbara County Arts Commission has been admirable in their support of area artists. Because of their dedication to these artists, well-known architect and art collector Barry Burkas and his family recently donated artwork by 75 local artists and gave it to the county, not to any of the museums, but to the county. This remarkable gift made an instant collection and gave history to the art life of this community. Now I don't know where they are, but this is the catalog of this collection. And somewhere here there should be about, they're back there, they're by Nicholas. If you would like one of these, they're free, and I encourage you to take this because it represents a great swath of artists in this community. This donation is a creative example of how an art collector can play a significant role in the public life of a community. Now, this foregoing laundry list is just the tip of a much larger history that I hope that will be written. Art history students, take note. There's a book here, and it's a compelling narrative waiting to be told. I've been fortunate to live in or near many of America's largest cities, but I believe smaller cities and outer regions have the potential to be the fresh place for new aesthetic visions and new types of museums. Santa Barbara can become a role model of active engagement with the art life of its community. It truly is ours for the making. And I'd like to offer 3 suggestions for what we in art institutions and galleries and we in the art community can do to engender a better art world. And they all have to do with focus and a sense of place. First, we need to focus on the artist. I deeply believe that artists make museums. I'm going to say that again. Artists make museums. Artists are the base unit, the very heart of culture. What they do propels all else. The galleries, the museums, the auction houses, the curators, the critics, the historians, the educators. If not for them and their art, the art world would simply not exist. We need to support their work by giving solo exhibitions where the community can experience what they do, and especially so other artists can see their work. When this happens, the bar gets raised, the dialogue gets richer, and everyone is elevated. Institutions not only need to show these artists, but also to collect their work. This does at least 3 things. It gives financial support, it gives public credence to the artists, and it safekeeps the work for future generations. Secondly, focus on your own region. Remember, what happens there or here happens no place else. If you want people beyond your area to take what you do seriously, then you must take yourself seriously. Thirdly, focus on your local institutions. Support them with your money, your time, and your talent. Go see the shows and the programs they put on. Talk about it, write about it. And if you don't like what you see, start your own place. Your own nonprofit. Santa Barbara, as we all know, is a legion for nonprofits. It can be done. All these places started from scratch sometime. Communities that have these focuses celebrate, honor, and promote their own culture. Art museums of the 21st century are not spectator sports. They ask for real engagement. If there's one thing that has been made abundantly clear in this recent election, it is the joy and the necessity of community. So I'm here to ask you all, my fellow community members, to be involved. Artists, since the economy is so awful, particularly for art sales, why not make the challenging, perhaps outrageous art you have long thought about? What do you have to lose? Make stuff that dazzles, confounds, cajoles, and enlarges our understanding of our time and place.